Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Mulroy Bay. Welcome back to your normally scheduled programming. Today I have the baling done, and today we're gonna have a chat about the mod contest for what's probably gonna be the final time, I hope, and clear up the bales. So let's get going on that. So I do apologize for taking up the better part of 3 weeks just covering all the stuff in the mod contest, and I am having to get used to playing the game normally again, so just you'll have to bear with me for the next few videos. Today and Thursday are probably going to be the worst. Today and Wednesday are probably going to be the worst. Tomorrow and Thursday might be slightly better. Thursday's probably going to be decent enough in terms of, you know, my driving skills. Yeah, I'm just gonna cheat because I can. I just don't have the patience to deal with. Nope, wrong button. To deal with this. So the mod contest was... Oh, there's apparently no reset point on the map. Wonderful. Was anybody really surprised that the Chrome Bale are coming first and the Tether that I thought was... Gonna be honest, I think the Tether that BM entered was entered because Giants asked them to enter a second mod. I don't think BM wanted to enter the Tether, because that was unfinished. Even by... well, it was finished by many mod team standards and many modders standards, and I'm not gonna criticize individual modders here, but by BM standards, that was unfinished. There was no AO, there was very little sheen to it. There's a lot of stuff that went wrong that I found within about 2 minutes of getting it that would and should have been picked up in testing. Have I taken a wrong turn here? No. So that leads me to believe BM were forced to rush the Tether, which wouldn't surprise me. It really wouldn't. BM and Giants do have a history of working together to an extent. The Farce mod for 2013, which was basically a test to see will people want forestry in FS15. That was made by BM modding. The Giants kind of contracted it to them, so it's no great surprise that if there was a lack of mods in the contest, that BM got the message from Giants, hey, enter another one, it doesn't really matter if it's not finished, we need more mods, and you know that you'll do well anyway. You'll get probably first and second, or first and third. You'll get 2 of the prizes out of the 3. It's not a great surprise, and I wasn't surprised at all by the results. German mods first, second and third. You see, the issue with the mod contest is that it's a public vote. I mean, I had my opinions on all the mods and you guys know what they were, but as it became very clear very quickly, those opinions were null and void on many of them. Now, Bielefeld, the winning map, a lot of the criticisms I had of that were unfair. And the reason they were unfair, and I'm going to address that now, I did put it into an annotation in the video, but I know I personally tend to have annotations turned off, so I'm going to address it here again. Good lord, that caught me by surprise. Bielefeld, the criticisms I had were unfair. And that's something that I don't normally admit for, you know, a map spotlight, that I did something that wasn't right. The reason the criticisms were unfair was because I had all the maps in the contest in the mod folder. Now, I thought that, you know, I was under the impression that, hey, well, there shouldn't be any conflicts between the maps, because I haven't come across one yet. But of course, there was a conflict, and there was a rather big conflict, and it affected every map because one of them had some weird error, and that error was in the Belgian map, Map Belgique, because it had no shadows at all, and as a result, it caused the entire game to have the shadow bug, which was quite a significant portion of my criticism of Bielefeld and some of the earlier maps, is that, hey, there's no shadows. But when it happened in all of them, it kind of struck me that, hey, this isn't normal, something funky's going on, and I'd best investigate and empty out my mod folder of the maps. When I did that, everything worked fine. So I am admitting defeat there. I did screw up, did make a mistake, and the textureless tank on Bielefeld, as well as the shadows that it lacked, were probably, and I'm not gonna say definitely because I don't know for sure, probably down to Map Belgique causing a conflict within the entire game. So yeah, Bielefeld was, in my opinion, a deserving winner. Although in general, and yes, I am trying to get this to actually go where I want it to. In general, the quality of maps and mods, nuts. In general, the quality of maps and mods just wasn't what I'd expected. I'm just gonna pile these up and stack them properly at a later time. The quality of maps and the quality of mods, just, it was, I'm gonna say it was a kind of a good day on Mod Hoster in terms of quality. There were some brilliant mods, but there were some mods that were just nice models, like the 8000 series Massey. That was just a nice model. The texture files for that, as I later discovered, the texture files were 4K. The IC issue that I discovered, or that I had, that happens to everybody with that 8 series Massey. That one was just a hot mess. That was one that I'm never going to even look at again. I know some people liked it, and that's their prerogative, but there were too many problems with it for me. The 7 series Massey, I am definitely keeping. It is in my mod, well, in both of my mods folders now, because as a result of the Map Belgique thing, I did split my normal mods folder in two. So I now have one mods folder for Mulroy and one for Nuston. Currently they both have the same mods, so it's, well, with the exception of the maps. The maps are the only difference. I have Mulroy in this folder and Nuston in the other, and I think I've copied all the other mods into both. I should probably say what mods I'm using from the contest. I am using Real Terrain, although it's not particularly obvious at the moment, and I am using the hotfix for Real Terrain that was posted on FSUK and all of the forums, because Giants, in all of their wisdom, made a rule that you can't re-upload a mod anywhere until the contest is finished. So by the time this video goes out, because I am recording this last week, because there are reasons I'm recording this last week. My sister has work on Saturday, well, my sister has work on Friday night, she's doing a night shift, and normally I'd record on a Saturday, but she's going to be in bed all day, asleep, because she's working Saturday night as well. So that kind of had to change my plans, so I'm recording this literally a week ago today. The mods that I kept from the contest, I think there are a couple more that I actually want to throw in to the folders, but at the moment it's Real Terrain with the hotfix, the Chrome Baler, because that is very high quality, although I'm probably going to get rid of it. There is one problem with the Chrome Baler that I just cannot excuse, and that problem is that it doesn't actually work with Bale Extension, which is, in my mind, that Bale Extension is a necessary mod. It is one that I'm just not going to do without in any map or whatever, because it does add a lot to the game. It adds a lot more than the Chrome Baler does, so on balance, you know, the Chrome Baler can go. The Mikhail Fusion by Salman, of course, I was looking forward to that for so long, and it did deliver on what I had expected. It was exactly what I had expected. Could have done with a bit more sheen to it, I guess. A bit more polishing, and these bales are just not behaving at all. Get off. There we go. Could have done with a bit more, you know, sheen and quality to it, but for a one-man job, which essentially is what semi-modding is just one guy making mods, that is a seriously good baler, and it should have come higher in the contest than it did. But because it's not normally used in Germany, it's, you know, it got punished unfairly. Real Terrain not particularly working with plow spec, which is why the hotfix exists. I would count the minor punishment OEB got for that as fair. I mean, Sad has admitted that he screwed up, and you know, they had to release a hotfix, but so did BM for the Chrome Baler. So, you know, in my opinion, the Chrome Baler shouldn't have won. BM shouldn't have got first and third. If you gotta release a hotfix for your mod, and I know that I'm criticizing OEB here as well, that means that you just didn't test the mod enough, and OEB openly admitted they made some changes at the last minute, and they made an oopsie. Well, Satis made an oopsie and broke compatibility with plow spec, which wasn't good. Oh, the Real Terrain is working good. What else did I bring over from the contest? The 698 Massey, that is most definitely staying. Actually did a bit of research on that, because I was talking to somebody on Steam who also plays a lot of Farm Sim. Well, they took a 6-month break from Farm Sim, but the 698 Massey was actually produced, and I'm sure that if you're a big Massey Ferguson fan, you already know this, produced from 1983 to 1986, which is kind of the time frame I'd put it in anyway. I figured it was an early 80s design, possibly late 70s because of the boxiness of it, but I was pretty much on the money with my estimation there. What else did I bring over from the contest? Because I didn't bring over much, I know that. As I've said so many times in the comments of the contest videos, the quality was just lacking. And I think it really shows the issues that Giants have in terms of the game. The community for the game is leaving. And the community is leaving because the community is leaving, number one, because there aren't enough good mods, and there aren't enough good mods because Giants are in essence chasing away the good mod makers. There is absolutely no getting in contact with Giants, and even if there is, they don't say a whole lot. I know James R.W. Powell, also known as Jim, also known as Predatory Gaming, he managed to get in contact with Giants around the time of the scripts. Yes, it was trying to figure out when the scripts would come out. And they said, oh, well, the scripts will be out eventually. The scripts were released the next day. Actually, the day he released the video, the scripts were released. So Giants, not only do they just not announce anything ever, unless of course there's a DLC, which, hey, it's money for Giants, of course they're going to announce that, but they just don't seem to have any communication within their own offices, within their own team, which, that's for what should be, you know, professional game developer, that's not excusable. There is no excusing that. I mean, I'm, as some of you know, involved in a game project at the moment, and I'm not going to go into much detail, but we have regular meetings with the entire team just to get updates and make plans for what's going on, and these builds will not be as messy in the future. Trust me, I'm going to be attacking them when I've got a few hours to spare. Right now I just want them out of the field. But we meet up once a week, sometimes once every couple of weeks because of various people having work commitments, because we're not full-time yet. We're hoping to be at some point in the near future so that we can focus primarily on getting everything done, but there are certain hurdles that have to be overcome before that. But we, you know, Giants are professional. They are 100% full-time game developers, and if their PR team, if their public relations unit or team or guy isn't in contact with the developers, who in theory are working out of the same office, or at least are in the same Skype group, well, that's really a criticism of Giants. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't think I'll be getting FS17. I'll get Gold Edition and Homer just to get the complete FS15. But as things stand, unless Giants literally bring in a new engine, because this is, I'm gonna guess this is Unity. This is a slightly modified version of Unity that FS15 runs in. So I've been doing a bit of tinkering in Unity over the last few weeks, and the similarities with Giants Editor are very noticeable, shall we say. I don't know if Giants decide on a full new game engine like Unreal or something like that, where they can actually do deformable terrain, which would be the next step for Giants, and should be the next step Giants want to take, is deformable terrain, because while AgriSim did that, they didn't do it well. Well, they did it well, they just didn't have the rest of the game working well. And I get the feeling that Giants have some very competent people working for them outside of the whole PR department joke, and they need to really up their game for FS17, because this is FS13 with some sheen, and FS13 was FS11 with some sheen, and they need to make a new game. They really do. They need to make FS17 something different, something new, something exciting, something that isn't Unity, essentially. But the biggest criticism I have of Giants, and going back to the mod contest, And the mod contest is the rules. I'm sure some of you would have looked at the giant topic on FS UK about the mod contests and the BM controversy. And as it turns out, BM entered under the German rules. Because they're a German mod team, Giants are Swiss, so the German rules will have been the clearest. Now, just first off, I'll tell you the English rules regarding the entries, and most of the translations of the rules said the same thing as the English rules, which are you can enter once and once only, either by yourself or as part of a team. Okay, so OEB under those rules can enter one mod as an entire team, and the winner, if they won, they choose somebody to get the prize, unless it's of course the dedicated server, which they would all use themselves. But the German rules didn't say that. The German rules said you can enter one mod and one mod only, but it can be made by a team or by yourself if you so wish. And BM went under those rules. And yes, OEB did have a chat with Giants, and they were told that the German rules were different, and if they wanted they can enter a mod each. But if you're going to be running a contest that has prizes worth a decent amount of money, yeah, prizes that would be very, very worthwhile for somebody to get, and like some graphics card, you could sell that for decent money and have kind of a cash prize. Giants didn't have one set of rules fits all. They had one set of rules fits the German community and one set of rules fits absolutely everybody else, which in my view is Giants essentially saying, well, if you're German or if you speak German, you get an advantage in this because we speak German. If you don't, tough luck. We're gonna disadvantage you because you don't speak our preferred language. That's, number one, that's borderline racism. It's, well, not racism, but xenophobia, which is disliking somebody because of the language they speak or their nationality. But second off, that's just plain and simple discrimination. There is no excuse for what Giants did in having two sets of rules for the same contest. Absolutely none. And the fact that it was a public vote means that Giants could, and I'm not saying they did, Giants could in theory easily rig the entire mod contest if they so wished. And it is rather entertaining how the last two mod contests, the FS13 mod contest and the FS15 mod contest, were both won by BM modding. With, yes, I'm gonna be honest, the Chrome Baler was the best mod out of the contest, but it needed a hotfix. It needed a hotfix. It wasn't, you know, some people who voted would have voted on the version with the hotfix, which wasn't the version that was in the mod contest. And yes, OEB released the hotfix for Real Terrain, but the version I reviewed, or the version I looked at in the Spotlight video, was the version that was entered into the contest. Every mod I looked at was the version downloaded straight from the contest page. And some of you who are eagle-eyed may have noticed that some mods disappeared very quickly after the contest opened, and I might have looked at some mods that later got removed. I know of at least one map was entered that was essentially Killeen Farm, or Killeen. I'm gonna say Killeen because it is an Irish-based map. It was essentially the Killeen map that had been edited slightly by a contracting team. I'm not going to name names. And the map maker of Killeen quite rightly, you know, emailed Giants and said, hey, if you don't take this down, you know, you're gonna get a lot of bad press. Number one, it's against the rules of the contest, and it was. The rules were no edits or anything, and I know of at least one map that was refused because it was a conversion or something like that. Or, I think a new version of the map which counted as an edit, which... It's a bit of a shame, because from what I've heard, that map is quite good. But, down to the letter of the law and the rules in every language, it shouldn't have been in the contest in the first place. So I can agree with Giants saying, no, you can't enter that one. And Giants removing the one that was entered. Because number one, it was theft. It was, well, not theft, but copyright infringement. You can't just, you know, take a mod and edit it and say, oh, this is my mod now, la 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 la. That's literally why we have the nonsense with private mods now. Literally why there's very few public mods being published is because people have edited them and said, oh, this is my mod now, and then released it on LS2015, modhub.us, those kind of sites. And I'm pretty sure I mentioned this already, but from now on there are only going to be 3 sites I use for mods at all. They are FSUK, because FSUK actually publishes quality mods. You can be sure if you download a mod from FSUK, either it's going to work or you've got a weird conflict that the mod author didn't think of, and if you go into the support topic you can get it all straightened out pretty quickly usually. I know that I've hovered around the soil mod support topic a few times, trying to help people out there, because you know the mod author doesn't always have to get back to you on issues, but people who, you know, are at least familiar with the mod can, and I like to think I'm familiar enough with soil mod, especially installation, that, you know, I can try and help at least. But yeah, FSUK is going to be my #1 site for getting mods. I know they don't have a particularly rigorous testing process anymore, but the mods that do get uploaded at least, well, the mods that do get published at least work 99% of the time. The other site is obviously going to be the Giants Mod Hub, because 99% of the time, almost 100% of the time, the mods are legitimate and not stolen or not, you know, not screwed with in any way. The final site is, of course, ModHoster, because, well, there's an oversight process on ModHoster. If a mod is less than legit, shall I say, it's very quickly removed, and I've seen it happen multiple times. But no other sites do that, to my knowledge. If you know of a site that has an oversight process, has a proven track record of if there is a less than legit mod, that it is removed, and LS2015 most definitely does not. Modhub.us is the worst of the lot, because it is nothing but stolen mods, and there is literally no oversight. I have seen stories of modders having people taking their usernames and then essentially slandering them all over the modhub.us website. So yeah, sites to not use are pretty much anything but the 3 that I do. They're definitely sites to not trust, at the very least. And while, yes, they do come out with some really interesting and good mods from time to time, I don't want to give them traffic anymore. the mods that I already have from those sites will remain. Although they may disappear when I go through. They will be the first in line to go when I'm, you know, doing mod nukes or whatever. Because I do occasionally go through my mod folder and say, no, I don't want this anymore, don't want that anymore, don't want this anymore. The ones from the less than legit sites will be first to go. And they may be some of the best mods that I have, but they'll be the first to go. The John Deere I have is very much on the chopping block at the moment. I'm actually... Something's gonna happen tomorrow in... no, something that means that I can get rid of the John Deere as a mod. Because it's not functional, in my opinion. Oh, good lord, I've been talking for half an hour. I'm gonna leave it here, because I intended for this to be a 20-minute video, not half an hour. This is what happens when I do, like, mod spotlights for 3 weeks. I completely forget I normally have a timer on. Thank you very much for watching. Comment, rate, subscribe, all that kind of nonsense or whatever. If you did enjoy the video, definitely give it a like. If you want to share it, go ahead. Very much appreciated. Thank you very much for watching. Until next time, stay safe, and goodbye.